Are you eating oats every morning thinking they're the healthiest way to start your day? What if I told you that very bowl of high-fiber goodness could be blocking one of the most important nutrients your brain and body need to stay sharp, vitamin B12? Shocking new research reveals how certain types of oats can interfere with nutrient absorption in seniors, potentially leading to fatigue, nerve issues, and even memory problems. But don't worry, there's a simple tweak that fixes everything, and we're going to show you exactly how. It sounds strange, doesn't it? That something as simple and wholesome as a bowl of oats, a food we've been told for decades, is heart-healthy and full of fiber, could quietly be setting off a dangerous chain reaction in your body, especially if you're over 60. But here's the truth. For seniors, your nutritional needs are shifting. And while oats may help with cholesterol and digestion, they may also be sabotaging your ability to absorb one of the most critical nutrients for aging well, vitamin B12. Let's start with the science. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition revealed that older adults consuming high-fiber diets, especially cereal fibers like oats, were more likely to experience B12 deficiencies compared to their peers on moderate fiber diets. Why? Because fiber, particularly insoluble fiber found in oats, can bind to nutrients in your digestive tract and flush them out before your body has the chance to absorb them. Vitamin B12 is different from other vitamins. It doesn't just get absorbed through your intestines like vitamin C or calcium. It has a complex absorption process involving stomach acid enzymes and a special protein called intrinsic factor. But if your gut is constantly packed with too much fiber, especially when paired with age-related decline in stomach acid, you could be excreting B12 before it even gets a chance to help your body. And why does that matter? Because B12 is everything for seniors. It supports nerve function, brain clarity, red blood cell formation, and even mood stability. A deficiency doesn't just make you tired. It can cause nerve damage, memory loss, and in severe cases, irreversible cognitive decline. Think about that. You could be eating right yet still suffering from chronic fatigue, brain fog, or that numb tingling in your fingers and feet. And your daily bowl of oats might be playing a hidden role. But here's where it gets more alarming. According to a long-term study published in Neurology, seniors with low B12 levels were significantly more likely to show signs of brain shrinkage. Yes, shrinkage. We're talking about structural changes to your brain. And it wasn't due to poor eating habits or alcohol or smoking. It was linked to poor B12 absorption. Still think oats are innocent. This doesn't mean you need to throw away your oatmeal. Oats can be beneficial. They're rich in beta-glucans, which help lower cholesterol, and they support a healthy gut microbiome. But the problem comes when oats become your primary source of breakfast, and they're not balanced with the one thing that can protect you from nutrient loss. So what's the fix? That's coming up in just a moment. Because before we reveal the simple tweak to protect your B12 levels without giving up your oats, you need to understand how to spot the warning signs. Have you noticed your energy fading even after a full night's sleep? Do your feet tingle or feel cold even in warm weather? Are you forgetting names or misplacing objects more often than usual? These aren't just signs of aging. These are red flags. Your body is trying to tell you that something is off. Something subtle but critical. And it may not be about taking more supplements or eating less of something. Sometimes it's about changing how you combine your foods, especially in the morning. Because your first meal of the day can either set you up for stability or for silent nutritional drain. Coming up next, we'll reveal the exact tweak to your oatmeal routine that fixes this issue. It's simple. It's science-backed. And it could help restore your energy focus and circulation without giving up your favorite comfort food. You don't need to give up oats. You just need to outsmart them. Because here's the twist. The very foods that block vitamin B12 can also be neutralized with the right combination. The solution lies in a single tweak that corrects the imbalance while preserving the benefits of oats. And it starts with adding bioavailable vitamin B12 to your breakfast before your oats hit your stomach. Let's break that down. Vitamin B12 is most effectively absorbed in the absence of digestive interference, especially the kind caused by high-fiber cereal grains. So if you eat your oatmeal first and then take a multivitamin or B12 supplement later, most of that crucial B12 may be lost in the process. But when B12 is introduced into your body before fiber enters the system, your chances of absorbing it go up dramatically. The fix: take your B12-rich food or supplement 15 to 30 minutes before eating your oats. And it's not just about timing, it's also about form. Research published in the British Journal of Nutrition shows that sublingual B12, meaning B12 absorbed under the tongue, bypasses the digestive tract entirely and enters directly into the bloodstream. That means no interference from fiber, no detours, just straight-up nourishment to your brain and nerves. So what does this tweak look like in real life? You wake up, you start with a glass of water and a small B12 lozenge, allowing it to dissolve under your tongue while your oats cook. If you prefer food-based sources, you could eat a small piece of smoked salmon, a boiled egg, or even a spoonful of fortified nutritional yeast before the fiber hits your gut. Then by the time your bowl of warm oats is ready, your body is already primed. The B12 has entered your bloodstream, and now instead of losing that precious nutrient to fiber binding, you've locked it in. This single shift timing plus form can completely change how your body utilizes B12. But we're not done yet. There's one more secret to this breakfast fix, and it's something most seniors overlook: what you pair your oats with. Because adding the wrong foods can worsen the problem, while the right ones can supercharge your nutrient uptake. For example, adding dairy milk may seem like a good idea, but calcium competes with B12 for absorption in the gut. Meanwhile, plant-based milks often contain added B12, but if they're loaded with gums or stabilizers, they may also slow digestion and reduce nutrient absorption. Instead, opt for unsweetened almond or oat milk fortified with B12 but without additives. Or go even simpler. Cook your oats with water and add in B12-friendly toppings like chia seeds, a handful of berries, or even a dollop of probiotic yogurt after the oats cool slightly. These small decisions stack up, and they could be the difference between a life full of clarity, movement, and memory, or one bogged down by fatigue, nerve pain, and confusion you never saw coming. Now, you might be wondering if B12 is so important. How do I know if I'm deficient? In the next section, we'll break down the top warning signs of B12 deficiency in seniors and why so many people miss them until it's too late. You'll also learn how one overlooked habit can either protect your brain or silently drain it. Even if you're doing everything else right, so don't stop now, because the next minute might reveal what your doctor hasn't told you. It creeps in slowly, so quietly, that most seniors don't even notice it until it's too late. A little forgetfulness here, a little fatigue there. Maybe your balance isn't quite what it used to be, or your legs feel a bit heavier when you walk. But you chalk it up to aging, to stress, to just having a bad day. But what if those little signals weren't just random? What if they were warnings, flashing lights from your nervous system telling you that something vital is missing? That's the silent danger of a vitamin B12 deficiency. Unlike other deficiencies that show up in blood tests or rashes, B12 slips under the radar. And in seniors where absorption naturally slows due to reduced stomach acid and changes in gut health, this can become a slow internal sabotage. Let's look at what that really means. Studies from Harvard Medical School and the National Institutes of Health show that more than 20% of people over 60 are either deficient or borderline deficient in vitamin B12. That means 1 in 5 seniors are walking around with a ticking time bomb in their bloodstream. And most don't know it. It usually starts with what they call subtle neurological symptoms. You forget why you walked into a room. You fumble for the right word mid-sentence. You start to feel unsteady on your feet, or experience pins and needles in your hands or toes. But here's the scary part. Left unchecked, those symptoms can progress into irreversible nerve damage. This isn't just mental fog. This is long-term impact to your spinal cord, your balance, and even your heart rate regulation. One peer-reviewed study in the journal Neurology followed older adults with untreated B12 deficiencies. Their risk of cognitive decline was significantly higher, even when their deficiency was only considered mild. That's because B12 is responsible for maintaining the myelin sheath, the protective coating around your nerves. Without it, your brain literally loses its ability to communicate properly with your body. The result: slower reflexes, increased falls, diminished coordination, and worse. Many seniors are misdiagnosed with early dementia or depression, when in fact they're simply starved of a nutrient that's easy to fix. You see, vitamin B12 isn't just a vitamin. It's your brain's lifeline, and it plays a role in more than 100 biochemical processes inside your body. Everything from red blood cell production to energy metabolism. So when it's missing, you feel it everywhere. The problem is that most seniors don't connect the dots. They blame the fatigue on poor sleep. They blame the tingling on arthritis. They assume that forgetting things is just what happens when you get older. But B12 deficiency is not normal aging. And the earlier you catch it, the easier it is to reverse. This is why your breakfast choices matter more than ever, because the simple act of consuming fiber-rich foods like oats, without considering B12 timing or absorption, can set off this silent deficiency over months or years. And here's something else you should know. Certain medications that are commonly prescribed to seniors, like acid blockers, metformin, or blood pressure drugs, can further interfere with B12 absorption. That means even if your diet is healthy, your body may still be starving for this essential nutrient. If you've been experiencing unexplained fatigue, mood changes, memory lapses, or balance issues, don't ignore them. They might be the only signs your body is giving you. In the next section, we're going to reveal how to protect your brain and body from B12 deficiency, not just through supplements, but with smart, natural dietary reinforcements that support absorption and long-term health. These are easy habits anyone can start today, and they could make all the difference between feeling sluggish and feeling unstoppable. Because aging doesn't have to mean decline. Not when you know what to look for, and especially not when the fix is this simple. You've seen what happens when your body lacks vitamin B12. The fog, the fatigue, the slow unraveling of clarity, strength, and coordination. But here's the good news. You can turn it all around, starting with what's on your plate. While supplements are one way to restore B12, your body often responds even better to bioavailable food-based sources. These foods don't just contain B12. They're designed by nature to deliver it in a form your body can recognize, absorb, and use quickly. Let's start with eggs. Simple, familiar, but also surprisingly powerful. The yolk contains a concentrated dose of B12, about 0.6 micrograms per egg. What makes eggs even more impressive is their balance of fat and protein, which helps slow digestion and improve nutrient absorption. Eating them with a small amount of healthy fat like olive oil can enhance uptake even further. And for seniors, eggs are one of the most digestible sources of complete protein, which supports muscle retention and brain function. Next up, sardines. These tiny fish are a nutritional powerhouse packed with over 8 micrograms of B12 in just a 3-ounce serving. That's more than triple the daily requirement. But they bring more than just B12 to the table. Sardines are also rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which support nerve repair and reduce inflammation, a perfect match for protecting the brain and improving circulation. Best of all, they're budget-friendly, low in mercury, and don't require cooking. Just pop open a can and pair it with whole grain toast or fresh greens. Then there's beef liver. Yes, it's an acquired taste, but no food on earth matches its B12 content, over 70 micrograms per 3 serving. That's nearly 30 times the daily recommended intake. 1 serving per week can provide a steady reserve of B12 that your body can draw from, especially if you're dealing with low absorption. And beyond B12, liver is loaded with folate, iron, and vitamin A nutrients essential for red blood cell production and neurological stability. If the taste puts you off, try blending a small portion into soups, stews, or even meatballs. Another hero food, nutritional yeast. This one surprises people. Nutritional yeast is often fortified with B12, especially the brands designed for plant-based eaters. It's got a cheesy, nutty flavor and can be sprinkled on everything from popcorn to scrambled eggs. Just 1 tablespoon of fortified nutritional yeast delivers up to 100% of your daily B12 requirement without animal products. And because it's typically consumed uncooked, the B12 remains intact and fully absorbable. Finally, don't overlook low-fat dairy products, particularly yogurt and milk. A cup of milk provides about 1 microgram of B12. And yogurt comes with the added benefit of probiotics, which may help restore gut health, something that's often compromised in seniors and essential for nutrient absorption. If you're sensitive to lactose, try lactose-free options or kefir, which offers the same B12 benefits without the digestive discomfort. Here's the key takeaway. It's not just about eating these foods, it's about consistency. B12 isn't stored well in the body over time, especially as we age. Your reserves can drop without warning. But by integrating at least one of these Power P-packed sources daily, or rotating them throughout the week, you create a nutrient rhythm that your body can depend on. And don't wait for symptoms to show up before making the change. By the time you feel the effects of B12 deficiency, damage may already be underway. Instead, let these foods serve as your daily defense, a nutritional insurance policy against decline. But there's still one more piece to this puzzle. Because even with the right foods and supplements, there's a hidden trap in many seniors' routines that can block B12 absorption before it even begins. It's something millions of people do every morning, often without thinking. And it could be silently undoing all your best efforts. In the next section, we'll uncover what that trap is and how to break free from it. Starting tomorrow. You've got your eggs, your sardines. Maybe you've even embraced beef liver. You've taken your B12 at the right time. You've made all the smart moves. But then you reach for it. That comforting mug, that steaming ritual you've had for decades. Coffee, or worse, black tea. It seems harmless. But for seniors working to absorb more B12, your morning cup could be the silent saboteur. Here's why. Caffeine and tannins, 2 compounds found in coffee and tea, interfere with the absorption and retention of vitamin B12. In fact, research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who consume 2 or more cups of coffee per day had significantly lower serum B12 levels, even if they were taking supplements. Let that sink in. Even if you're doing everything else right, that morning cup of joe could be flushing your B12 down the drain before it ever reaches your bloodstream. But that's just one side of the problem. Here's the other. Caffeine doesn't just block absorption. It also acts as a diuretic, meaning it speeds up how quickly nutrients are pushed through the kidneys and excreted. So even if you manage to absorb a small amount of B12, with breakfast, caffeine might still rob your body of it before it can be used. And then there are tannins found in black tea, green tea, and even red wine. These natural compounds bind to certain vitamins and minerals, including B12, and form complexes your gut can't break down. That means they pass through your system unused, wasted. Now, this doesn't mean you need to abandon your morning ritual entirely, but timing is everything. Instead of sipping coffee with your B12-rich breakfast, wait at least 90 minutes after eating to enjoy it. Give your body a chance to digest and absorb what it needs without interference. This small delay can dramatically improve nutrient retention and help reverse deficiency symptoms over time. And if you're someone who drinks multiple cups throughout the day, be aware that chronic caffeine intake can create long-term nutrient depletion, especially when paired with high-fiber diets, medications, and age-related absorption decline. That's why so many seniors are caught in a vicious cycle. They feel tired, so they drink more coffee. But the coffee blocks the very nutrient their body needs to restore energy, so they drink more coffee. And the cycle continues. But now you know, and now you can change the story. By shifting your morning caffeine routine just a little. By giving your body time to absorb, digest, and utilize key nutrients before introducing absorption blockers. You take back control and that feeling of exhaustion. It doesn't have to be your new normal, because here's the truth. You're not getting older. You've just been undernourished. And the fix is as simple as rethinking your habits. But we're not done yet. In the final segment, you're going to meet someone who followed every one of these tips and experienced a transformation most people wouldn't believe. Their journey from fog and fatigue to clarity and vitality could be the proof you need to start your own. Stay with us. Eleanor was 74 sharp as a tack just a few years earlier, volunteering, playing bridge, and walking 3 miles a day without breaking a sweat. But then little things started slipping. She forgot the name of her neighbor's dog. Her legs felt heavier with each passing week. Her energy, once endless, began running out before noon. And no matter how much she slept or how healthy she ate, she just didn't feel like herself anymore. She blamed age. Her doctor blamed stress. And every morning she kept eating her oats, steel-cut, high-fiber textbook clean eating. But beneath the surface, her body was slowly starving for something deeper. Vitamin B12. It wasn't until a routine blood test came back flagged that Eleanor saw the truth. Her B12 levels were critically low. The nurse told her to take a supplement. But Eleanor did more than that. She changed her morning routine. She started taking her B12 before breakfast, sublingually under the tongue right after waking. She switched her coffee to mid-morning. She added sardines to her lunch 3 days a week and sprinkled nutritional yeast on her roasted vegetables. Just small, consistent changes. By the 3rd week, something clicked. Her hands stopped tingling. The fog began to lift. She was remembering names again. Her legs didn't ache like they used to, and she wasn't gripping the stair railing as tightly. After 2 months, Eleanor was walking 5 miles a day and laughing about how she ever believed she was just getting old. She wasn't declining. She was depleted. But when she gave her body the right tools at the right time, it responded quickly, powerfully, almost like it had been waiting. And yours might be too. You don't need to reinvent your diet. You don't need expensive therapies or impossible regimens. Sometimes the most radical transformations start with one small change, one tweak, one moment of listening to your body before it's too late. Because it's never too late to feel like yourself.